Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. So this is my Booktube Newbie Tag video, which I probably should have done first, but whatever, here we go. Let's just jump right into it. First question is, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because I'm a big reader, but I don't have that many other readers in my life. I'm in multiple book clubs, but most of them are like old retired people who don't read the same things as I do. So I really made this channel to kind of gush and express my opinions and find other like-minded people on Booktube and join the community and just make some friends. Okay, so the second question to me is kind of a doozy. It's what are some fun and unique things that you feel you can bring to Booktube with your channel? And to me, this is one of my biggest concerns. Other than my own personal reactions and emotions and my personality, this is like my number one concern. Like, do I have unique content? Is what I'm saying even interesting to anyone other than me? And so I hope the answer is yes, because I definitely do not have plans to revolutionize the way Booktube format exists. Question 3 is, what are you most excited about with your new channel? And I would say I'm most excited to get my thoughts and opinions out there and to meet new people and to really just try something new and different for me. Okay, so question 4 is, why do you love reading? And I mean, anyone who loves reading has a zillion answers to this, but for me, it's mostly an escapism, adventuring kind of feel. I just really enjoy diving into something that's not my own life that I already know all about. I also use books as a mood adjuster. If I really want to feel a certain sense of, longing for home, I have a book for that. And I'm a big rereader, so I can re-experience the emotions that certain books have inspired in me. So I love to read. I also like learning things, but mostly it's to feel things that I don't normally feel in my normal life and to kind of just go on cool adventures. Question 5 is, what books or series got you into reading? And I would say that I've been a reader for as long as I can remember. I know for sure I went through a bunch of Goosebumps and a bunch of Babysitter's Club. I loved reading Meg Cabot as a kid. Her teen book series. Some of the book series that have had sort of the biggest impact in my life was His Dark Materials. I read The Golden Compass at the same age as Lyra, and it just blew my mind. Of course, I have to include Harry Potter, and I have to include Twilight, and I have to include Hunger Games. I really just jumped on those bandwagons, and I loved finding other people who were reading the books that I was reading and being able to talk to people about the books and gush about them. That was really all of those. Every time I found those kind of big hit series and found other people to love books like I did, that just kind of gave me another speed boost and kept me reading. Question 6 is, what challenges do you think will be the hardest to overcome? For me, I think timing is going to be an issue. Sometimes I'm reading 2 books at a time, and sometimes I'm reading 8 books at a time. So I can definitely predict that I will have time when I have so much content I want to make, and other times when I will kind of be in a dry spell. And also just finding that time in my life. I have a full-time job and I have a marriage and I am into Dungeons and Dragons, and so trying to fit in suddenly new time for making videos and editing videos and putting videos on the internet and watching other people and making sure I like their videos, to find other cool recommendations, that's a little intimidating and potentially one of my biggest challenges. The next question is, what questions do you have for some of your favorite booktubers? And I would say my biggest question is, how do you find the time to do all of it? I currently barely have time to fit enough reading in, and so to also be reading what is new enough that it's interesting enough, but also not totally unheard of, and then also just reading a little bit more knowledgeably takes time, to make notes and stuff, and then also to film your reaction and then edit it and get that content out there. I mean, are you guys sacrificing a lot of sleep, or how are you managing to do this? That's my biggest question to YouTubers already. The second to last question on this list is, where do you like to read? So I've mostly get my books from the library because I'm a cheapskate, and unfortunately with the world being shut down for the moment, my libraries are closed. So ebooks have been really saving my life, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks at work. And sometimes when I'm doing chores and stuff. But I recently have been mostly using my Kindle and getting ebooks from the library, and I do most of that at home on the couch. And the last question is, what kinds of books do you like to read? So I would like to say I am open to reading anything. I don't think that that is currently reflected in what I'm reading, but I am open to anything. I definitely started off with a bunch of YA and a lot of dystopian, and college was busy, so I think I read sort of the least in my lifetime over my college years. And by the end of college, I suddenly looked around at the like YA section and thought, whoa, this exploded. And I felt really kind of out of the loop. And so I sort of just moved right on to a lot of adult fiction. So currently the genres I mostly read in are actually contemporary and romance. I've been reading a lot of romance for the last couple of years, and I probably will be reviewing a lot of romance. But I read sort of general fiction with some book clubs, and I've sort of into a couple graphic novels. And I read a couple of thrillers last year that really were exciting, and so I think I want to do more of that. As long as somebody recommends something that is something that they really were passionate about, that's what gets me into the book. It can be a genre that I've never read before, and if someone gives me a glowing review, I would be a lot more likely to pick it up. So I hope you learned a little bit about me, and I'm excited to join the Booktube community. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!